Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, where we are sharing with you how we're transitioning into a keto lifestyle. And I have a couple of things I wanted to share with you, a couple of accomplishments. And one was my second 5K today. I am going to post a short about it. I did it in just like a minute less than my last one, which was great because I was really pushing myself and I wasn't sure I was going to even finish today. At point 5 miles, I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to finish this? And I did. So that was wonderful. And I don't think I'm going to be as sore as I was last time either. So that's good news. So working on the exercise front. And then we're going to talk a little bit today about OMAD, one meal a day. And I've been doing that. This is day 3 today for one meal a day. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and why I think it was so hard for me to get to that point. So Karen, you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody. I think that OMAD is wonderful. It's a wonderful, I think, therapeutic tool. It's basically, I think, like probably the first stepping stone to intermittent fasting because it's basically a 24-hour window, right? Because it's probably more like 23 hours depending on how long your meal time is, but you're starting your eating at 11:30 in the morning, and then you finish your meal at about 12:30, and then you don't eat again until 11:30, or whatever works for you. And I have not done an OMAD, I don't know, for about maybe like a week, but I like to have at least one or two every week. And I really feel like, it's just a different way of eating. So Cami once told me there was no way she was going to be able to fast. She also told me she's never going to be able to not eat sugar. She said a lot of things that she's just changing her tune. So let's hear her new tune.
Yes, this is true. And I probably said some of it online, so you guys are hearing it too. So what I think worked for me finally was just paying close attention to what I was eating. And, I'm still keeping a food diary. So that's really helpful for me to be able to see exactly what I'm eating. And I've noticed that since March 8th, when we did the video on being extraordinary, I decided I was going to cut out all sugar items completely. And so what I had been doing was eating some whipping cream and putting just a small amount of sucralose in it. Because Karen and I had discussed this and we weren't sure if getting the sugar out of my system was something that needed to be tapered off or something that needed to go cold turkey, because it seemed that like when I went cold turkey, I would end up binging again. And so I've been binging less. The last time I ate off plan, which wasn't a huge binge, but it was an oatmeal cookie and half of a big donut, and then some Chinese food. That was March 1st. So that's only been a couple of weeks since I did that. So it hasn't been that long. I'm still getting some sugar in there. But since March 8th, I really tightened it up and have been doing no sugar, no whipping cream, nothing. And then the craving for my hunger for food seems to have gone away. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't fast. I couldn't do a 24-hour one meal a day OMAD because I would get too hungry. I would get hungry after 4 or 5 hours. And I think some of it was biochemical and some of it was mental. So now, since the sugar's completely out, I do think that has something to do with it. I've been able to go for one meal a day without too much difficulty. I'm not not starving. I'm not really feeling all that hungry. When I get ready to eat my next meal, I am hungry and ready to eat. And then when I finish my meal, I'm full. I'm eating a good amount of food in one sitting. And then I brush my teeth and I floss them real good, and I don't have to worry about my teeth for another 24 hours. It's so great. So my eating window has been basically like 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., depending on what my schedule's doing. And today is day number 3.
Yay! So one of the things too, when Cammy and I went to Low Carb USA in San Diego last year in August, where there's a lot of carnivore people as well as keto people, and as also just other low carb um, lifestyles. There, a lot of them talked about, especially I think the carnivores, talked about doing OMAD and talked about the fasting because they really liked it for traveling, and especially as some of them came from Australia and I think Canada. So I think part of that, I think it's really good for traveling. Like for me being in the Chicago area, right? So if I'm going to go visit Cami and the flight's about 4 hours and it's 2 hours to get to the 2 hours beforehand to before your flight leaves to be at the airport and then an hour drive to the airport, that's 7 hours right there. So if I can eat before I leave and then not eat again until the next day, it makes traveling so easy, right? I don't have to think about, do I need snacks when I'm in the airport? Do I need to, should I eat something on the plane? Should I, take something on the airplane in case I get hungry? It's just a really great way to plan your schedule to make a lot of things really easy. So, the one thing, Cammy, and I said I wasn't going to say it, but I am going to say it because I am part of a paid program called the Steak and Butter Gang. You can look that up on YouTube. That's where I found them. And they have a lot of great guest speakers, but they have they're about intermittent fasting. And I think they're carnivores too. I think it's a carnivore lifestyle with intermittent fasting. But it's fascinating because they have every month is a different level, right? So level one is 1 month, level two is 1 month, level three is 1 month, and level four is 1 month. And they start the first month on level one is just priming, what they call it, priming. So it's like getting your body satisfied with food so it's able to jump into this OMAD. At first they start OMAD, then they do 2 MADs, they do 3 MADs, they do OMAD, then they do a 24-hour window, then they do a 36-hour window. But by the time you're at level 4, people are probably fasting more than they're eating, and they talk about the great benefits of it. So I can't wait to get to that level. I'm excited about going there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to follow our journey. And I'm kind of curious with what's going on with me, what's going to happen over the next week or so.
Yeah.
Because the first day I thought, oh, I did this. And I thought it was just like um, a, a freak thing. And then the next day I did it and I didn't really have any problems with it. And today's the third day and I'm doing it. And it's, almost 6 o'clock at night and I'm feeling fine. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this part of my journey does. And the reason why I think I had this shift was because I pulled the sugar out, but also I met with Mary Cipriani, who is somebody we're going to interview here coming up in April, who lost over 100 pounds doing a keto lifestyle, and interview her. And she was talking about how she was doing intermittent fasting. And this was the third time that it had come up in like a week that I had been talking to people and they were saying that intermittent fasting is what they were doing. So I finally came around to accepting that that's what I would really need to do to start getting significant weight off. I'm losing fat and I'm gaining muscle, but the weight is still there. And so, yeah, this is, I'm just thrilled that I'm not hungry when I'm, going one meal a day.
Well, and the true beauty of it all, Cami, is now you've done it, right? So even if you started binging again, you can always change your lifestyle back a month from now, and you've done the OMAD. So wherever you fall off the wagon, you can get right back on.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I think
No.
back, I think back about how brutal it was, the amount of food that I was eating during binging. And I think a lot of it has to do with self-love and growing in that direction. And just days have gone by where I've been better to myself in lots of different ways. So I just,
Or
I'm not perfect. Go ahead.
or maybe it's just the chemical reaction your body has when it has a lot of food in it, right? Like
With no
maybe
sugar
putting
in it.
yeah, well, and maybe putting all that food in your body is not where our bodies are supposed to be. And so it makes you feel bad. Makes you feel depressed and tired and bad about yourself. And when you take out all that food and you're eating light, all of a sudden you feel like freakishly good.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were talking about eating heavy at the meal that I eat, because
No, no.
I am eating a lot of food at one sit down meal, but my next goal is to continue my OMAD and look at getting my protein down just a little bit. But we're going to see how the scale goes with
Yeah.
Jeff in a couple of weeks. So
All
yeah,
right. Go OMAD. Go
go
Cammy.
OMAD, be extraordinary.
All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Subscribe, give your
Love you.
comments.
Subscribe. Thanks for
Thank
watching.
you.